Keeping fiber in your ketogenic diet is not only healthy, it might help with your fat loss. In this video, we share the research as well as the simple strategy we use to keep fiber in our diets. Hi, I'm Dr. Becky. I'm a college instructor of the Science of Nutrition.
And I'm Dr. Keith. I'm a chiropractor in private practice for the past 26 years, and you're watching Two Fit Docs, where we take weight loss resistance and turn it into weight loss results.
And we do that using this guinea pig who has this year lost 69 pounds, about 8 months it took you. Now we're on the slope of gaining muscle, which, by the way, if you kind of binge watch our series here, well, first of all, thank you, but also make sure that you're tuned in next week. We have a real exciting, I think, episode. We're going to head over to a university and get your body fat percentage checked with a DEXA scan. Yep. So I think that'll be a real interesting episode, so be sure to subscribe if you're not and watch for that. But in this episode, we're going to talk about fiber and how that can be useful in your ketogenic diet. And I think that is an area of a ketogenic diet that goes past people. They get caught up. I mean, obviously a ketogenic diet is very effective for fast weight loss, but I think we get a little caught up in the high fat and low carb aspect, and by doing that we cut out those high fiber foods. Right. So we've actually come across a couple of studies that were done just recently, just this year, that really share how fiber can help you burn fat. And it has to do with, surprisingly, your bacteria in your gut, right? Your gut microbiome.
The microbiome.
So why don't you start by talking about the first study, the Danish one?
Okay, so the Danish study, they took, I forget the number, 62, I think, obese adults, and they were older adults.
I think so.
Yeah. So what they did is they wanted to analyze what kind of, well, specifically they wanted to measure two different types of bacteria that they had in their gut. So they analyzed the feces of these people.
Which is when you don't want to be a researcher.
That's exactly right.
Right.
Yeah. So they found that there's the two bacteria they're looking at, not that it makes any difference, is Prevotella and the Bacteroides. What they did is they split these into two groups, and one of them received a high fiber, lower calorie diet for 26 weeks, and then what they found is they look at their body composition and what happened. So the ratio, the Prevotella went way up, the Bacteroides went way down, and concurrently with that, the body fat loss was significant between the two groups. The group that was on the high fiber diet lost, I think, 7 pounds of body fat, as compared to the other group.
Right. So by adding fiber to their diet, now they were also on more of a low calorie diet. So it was interesting. It was an interesting study. So it basically showed that by adding fiber, it changed the ratio of bacteria in their body, kind of pointing toward one being beneficial for weight loss and one being not beneficial.
They also had a variable low calorie in there, so you couldn't say that the bacteria itself was the point.
Right. So it was an interesting study, kind of caught our attention, but then there was a second study done in the same year, very close, that really kind of cemented this fact that high fiber diet can change your bacteria, which can change your ability to burn fat.
Yeah, the Canadian study.
Yeah, and so this was done actually on children. I believe the average age was like 7 to 12, and they didn't put these kids on a weight loss diet, but they were obese children. And all they did was simply feed one half of the group a specific type of fiber called inulin. Inulin is the fiber that we see mostly in onions and leeks and garlic and asparagus and that kind of family. The other group, they didn't have the added fiber. Both groups, they're kids, they let them eat like kids do. They didn't make any other changes. And after 16 weeks, what they found was that there was a significant change in their body composition and in their gut microbiome. The kids that were fed this special fiber, this inulin, actually lost 2.4% body fat, and they had a drop in those Bacteroides bacteria, which, that is pointing to the fact that maybe those Bacteroides, having too many of them in your body, can block fat loss. The way to lower them is to eat more fiber.
Right.
So interesting, right? And so it was. It kind of goes along with what we've always suspected, and it's why we utilize the simple strategy we do called the 0-1-2-3 strategy. It is the way that we keep fiber in your ketogenic diet.
Right. And we've often said that I'm following a high-fat, high-fiber, low-carb diet. We've said that from the beginning. Fiber was a real important part of that. And we didn't exactly know why. We weren't with the studies, but we knew that the fiber was going to be an important component health-wise in that. And the 0-1-2-3 plan, if you've looked into that, it's a
Which is
zero
our starter kit.
Right. It's in our starter kit. It's kind of the foundation that everything builds on, but it's 0 sugars and it's 1 large salad every day. So I have that every day. So no starchy vegetables in that, but lots of leafy greens, other vegetables, tomatoes, onions, avocados, whatever we can throw in there. And the 2 is 2 cups cooked vegetables in the evening, and we've stuck really close to that as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, 0-1-2-3 is truly a foundation. If you don't have our starter kit, it's in there. We share it with you free. It's a great place for you to start. But right, our 2 cups of vegetables at night, interestingly enough, onions and garlic, which are part of these inulin fibers, are a big part of it. So what we do, a couple of times a week, we take an enormous skillet. We put some butter in there. We put some garlic, onions, maybe some mushrooms, peppers, tomatoes, squash from the.
Whatever
It
we got.
depends on what
Yeah.
what else we have laying around. But onions, we put 2 enormous onions
That's
in there,
the main part of it.
and we just cook that up, and we will eat it for 2 or 3 nights in a row. It is super simple to keep these high fiber vegetables in your diet.
It's
when
really
you are
tasty,
on it.
too.
And it is.
Really
and
good.
it fills you up. So we have it in the evening. It just really takes away any cravings for sugars and things like that in the evening. So there you go. Did we cover everything we wanted to cover?
I think so. We definitely want, go look at the starter kit if you want to learn more about the 0-1-2-3, what I've been doing. Make sure you subscribe, because next week we're going to be out of our studio and on location.
On location.
And,
On location with 2 fit dogs.
Yeah, it'll be kind of neat.
All right, great.
So we'll see you
Till
next
then.
week.
Thanks.